Alright, thanks guys. Thanks for having me, and thanks for inviting me. Thanks for having us, eh?
No problem.
Because most parents wouldn't do this stuff. Seriously. Okay, so the idea of what health is, what I'm going to relate it as through a physical means, cannot be grasped within one sitting or two, so it's going to be a gradual process. Next time I'm here, if I have time, I can expand. What I have to say pertaining to health is so beyond our present perspective or position on what health truly is, and why disease is but one thing manifests as many. What I have to say is from the depths of the deep, where I have ventured outward, inward, and back outward again over the past decade, facing and conquering my physical and mental comfort, challenging myself with the most up-to-date current paradigm concerning andro-societal and bio-spiritual levels of awareness. I must start with the basic understanding, principle, or premise that we can all come to an agreement on, or a common grounds, and then work backwards to finally advance forward. But these retrogressions, beloved, I promise you, are leaps and bounds compared to the present day's definition of medical advancement. There is no healing but self-healing. I will start on the logical, physical plane, then over the next few events, move into the quantum level, metaphysics of understanding, and then finally, we will discuss diet, disease, and health in a way that you may have never heard it before. But to bring you there requires many sessions, so it'll be heard, and when we part, it'll be contemplated on, and then questioned and hopefully grasped. Okay. This thing is plugged in. Oh, so notice my battery sign going down. Okay. So, caution. Be prepared to give up stuff when you come to these meetings. Be prepared to give up habits, comforts, and other things that you may have thought defined you. I am not going to go easy on anyone. I will hold nothing back when it comes to the upliftment and to the consciousness awareness of ourselves. So, brothers and sisters of the light, do not be offended at the tone. It is simply easier to write it this way. Now, do we all agree with peace on earth?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Peace for who?
Equality.
Peace for what?
All of the
Peace for humans, peace for animals, peace for ecosystems, for solar systems. Each one requires an ever-heightening level of awareness of one's relation to the all. Humans, animals, ecosystems, and solar systems. There is no way we can have peace on this planet unless it is experienced by every being, animals included. As I said, be prepared to give up stuff. Because if you're shouting out peace on earth, yet consuming your body with other creations and creators, it means your cries of peace may go in vain and will not be unheard. I am not dissing or judging anyone for their diet. We are all on this path, and anyone being ahead of anyone else is just an illusion. Every retrogression is a progression. You have to move back in the soccer game sometimes or in chess to go forward, but it's always going forward. Okay, let's start. Does anybody know how many minerals are present in the body for a fully functioning physique? 12? 102.
Oh.
Okay. Does anybody know the two essential minerals in the brain and the skull? It's iron and it's copper. Okay. Iron being magnetic, copper being electric. The brain and the heart produce electricity whose byproduct is magnetic. Thus we are physically electromagnetic emitting beings. Electricity is brilliance like a light bulb, lightning. Magnetism is ignorance like the narrowing of one's perspective that magnets provide. All are drawn into that one point of reference, which is the magnet, thus cluttered, condensed, reduced, trapped, enclosed, confined, introverted, inward, to the reference of the magnet, and in the case of self and cosmic intuition. We need both to live, but we can choose which we experience predominantly. Who wants to be like the electricity? Who wants to be dancing and reaching out and branching out, extending, growing, dancing, free and charged? I know I do, and that's the first step. Thank you. Electrical foods. That's the first step, and it's the easiest step. And I'll tell you why. If we are electromagnetic beings, emitting beings, then what do electromagnetic emitting beings consume?
Not water from BP bottles.
If it is this, try to give us some crystal to do something, because sometimes we can't avoid that. Sometimes we just have to have a drink. Okay, so we should be eating foods that hold and carry charges. Electricity in food is most abundant, most bioavailable, easy to assimilate in plant foods, but not just any plant foods. Now, it is found in beets, seedless grapes, orange carrots, cauliflower, large tomatoes, white and yellow potatoes, yellow corn, soy, iceberg lettuce, just to name a few, but I would not recommend eating any of those. These foods are all man-made, gene spliced or crossbred to bring into being. You will not find any of the above foods in a natural forest, jungle, valley, or desert setting. Okay, you guys still with me, right?
Yes.
This is interesting. This is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good. Please, yes.
Okay.
We're filming.
Okay.
Wait,
Now,
cauliflower is like a man-made food?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Just crossbred.
Yeah.
Beets, orange carrots, garlic, all have starches and mucus-promoting acids present. Acidity is the doorway of disease. When you think a negative thought, you produce an acid in your brain that damages and suppresses vital glands. When you listen to music too loud, you produce acid that rots your glands and organs. When you eat acidic foods, you provide a breeding ground for parasites that harm your glands and in turn lower your light code reading abilities for higher consciousness.
Which leads to cancer.
A parasite is an organism that uses and manipulates a living host to attain comfortable living environments it would not be able to experience on its own. That's my definition. The corporate elite, or the parasitic elite, manipulates man so they can attain comfortable mansions, lands, yachts, and bank accounts it would not be able to achieve or attain on its own. Parasites and varieties of worms exist most abundantly in dairy, egg, and meat products that cannot be harmed until 1,000 to 1,500 degrees in centigrade is reached. You cannot simply cook out parasites because these same parasites' eggs can survive in outer space. The only way to rid yourself of parasites is by abstaining from acidic, death-ridden foods like meat, fish, dairy, eggs, fast foods, and other processed GMO manipulated foods, and by changing the terrain of your body from acidity to alkalinity. The parasite pumps out chemicals in your body, which your body then acts upon by releasing counter chemicals of its own out of the hypothalamus and thyroid, thus altering your thoughts, making you crave what it is they need to survive. More junk food, more meat, more sugar. This is how they manipulate the host and at the same time suppress your pineal gland even further. There is a way to ensure acid-forming free food and reverse calcification of the infamous pineal gland. Or if you know the biblical story of Jacob, when he named the land atop of the ladder or the spine. In Genesis 32 and 30, and Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. The term I am using for this new yet age-old remedy is earth-made foods, as opposed to man-made foods. Now, before I go in, there is a common belief that you can destroy enzymes through cooking. And while cooking does devalue certain aspects and enzymes, it also enables certain things to be easier processed. However, earth-made foods are just that, like cacao, earth-made. Made without our involvement, properly balanced. No matter how much you mash it, chop it, blend it, grind it, dry it, boil it, it is always balanced by nature. So it may be hard for those lacking proper gut enzymes to break it down, but that is the only problem, is that you do not have the proper enzymes or vibrational frequencies to unlock, process, assimilate, and eliminate efficiently. It will be rendered unedible or at best upset your stomach. I'm almost done. Cooking is processing. Your body is hot. When you eat raw foods, it heats up, cooks, processes, and turns it into a liquid, then to a gas, and then it enters your bloodstream. So digestion starts at the mouth. Chewing thoroughly. Drink your food and chew your juice. Your teeth's health is a direct but late indicator of your internal bone health. If your teeth is weak, your bones are weaker. While digestion happens at the mouth, cooking happens at the solar level, on the quote-unquote food chain. Anything with a seed is edible off the vine, branch, stalk, etc., because it has been gently cooked by the sun day by day. It is only the roots like uva ursi, blue vervain, and other varieties of tea roots, and some flowers like artichoke that needs to be pre-processed or heated up or steamed. But even licorice and ginseng can be sucked on raw, but I would not recommend ginseng in any form. We have to completely abandon the Western medicines terms, and beliefs. If you believe there is such thing as sickness or disease, you've already lost. The millions that you see that are sick have evidently fallen into this belief, while there are people living off less, that know less, yet are more in tune, that they give credit to the age-old axiom or idea of mind over matter, mind over material. They are genetically modifying our foods and upping the ante on fast foods in order to undermine our intelligence and natural intuition pertaining to food choices, and by the alteration of genetics in food, the age-old maxim that you are what you eat come into light of dire importance here, as we find by altering the foods, they alter our minds. I think, therefore I am. Thoughts become things. Mind over matter. All of these maxims fall under law before you are what you eat. When you think healthy foods, you'll digest healthy thoughts. You did not create your body. You did not create animals, and you did not create plants. On a physical level, we're speaking, not metaphysical. Therefore, the utmost respect of all three must be had before you can claim health. First, you are billions of trillions of atoms appearing and disappearing, vibrating so high that we look still. Like the table saw, whose blade is moving so fast that it seems at rest. The reflection is once again steady. In regards to science, we as already manifested beings cannot recreate, imitate, or bring into existence a human being, so we must protect it and preserve it. Second, animals are the same, trillions of atoms, infinite possibility, yet animals have less nerve endings. Where the nerves end, the soul begins. Humans have the most complex neurological systems and neurological endings, thus easy to see that our animating life force is more complex, able to dominate frequencies or beings, with a simpler soul-to-body interface. A simpler operating system. An animal's Windows 95 compared to a human's Mac OS Snow Leopard. This is comparable to a fully developed person and an underdeveloped, disabled, challenged, or retarded person. All of which refer to a lag or a lack or a slowness when compared to a normal being. We humans tend to take good care of these people, stepping out of the way, helping with doors, protesting for ramps, and wheelchair accessible options. We do not tolerate teasing, physical, emotional abuse towards these physical disabled people, so why do we then do it to another type of being, animals? We did not create them, we cannot recreate them without interacting with them against their will, which is what happens now. The strong and the able should take care of the defenseless, but notice how I did not say weak, because a monkey could throw you across this room. Okay? But our greed and our lust for domination over beings that don't look like us, coupled with the most complex soul-to-body interface in existence, we assume positionalities of superiority over these beings. In fact, this is the same train of thought that led the way for the Arabian slave trade, the Atlantic slave trade, Hitler's Holocaust, Rwanda and South Africa's genocide, and female inequality and lack of rights, and somehow we find it natural to kill them and to consume dead animals. It is not natural, it is normal. Big difference. It's normal nowadays, but it's not natural. Okay. We did not bring animals into beings ourselves, so we must protect it and preserve it. Third, plants are not life. And I need to really drive that in, because when you have arguments about health, someone is going to say, but you slaughter whole fields of broccoli. Or don't you feel bad about killing asparagus? Plants are not life. Plant is a quality of life. The turf is not the athlete, the green, not the golfer. It is a quality and a contributor to the total experience that the animated athlete or golfer lives or plays out. It is the archetypal foundation of which the specific light-encoded beings resonating with the foundation owe its current state of experience to, but are not limited thereby. Example, we could astral project and exist in different planes, and that does not involve food. That's getting a little too deep and metaphysical, so I'm going to bring it back. We, as already manifested beings, did not create nature, and so we must protect it and preserve it at all times. Now, A lot of people in the health forums will use this as a defense measure, but if you bring up the fact that plants are a quality of life, contributing to the overall experience of life, then they will lose every time because you're operating on a higher level of awareness. Every living, breathing thing on the planet relies on the plant for food. Yes, even carnivores consume plants when they need to purge, clear, and restore their internal workings. Plants are like the water hole of the savannah. At the water hole, there are hippos, rhinos, gazelles, lions, zebras, monkeys, crocs, birds, and fish. All are thirsty, or in our case, hungry. We are all relying on the watering hole, or in our case, plants, to keep us quenched or fed. To humans who thrive off a vegan diet, eating animals is akin to the lion expending vital energy to pounce on the drinking zebra, tear open its stomach, and drink the water from its stomach. Okay?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Okay, I will.
One more time.
To humans thriving off of a vegan diet,
Yes.
eating animals is akin to the lion expending vital energy to pounce on the zebra, tear its stomach open just to drink the water that is in the stomach instead of sticking to the water hole.
Right.
Okay. That is insanity. The sun provides us energy, plants provide us a lesser form, but a totally usable and assimilatable form of energy. Understanding that animals and eating animals was believed to be like the eating of the lawnmower bag instead of munching on the lawn all day. Let the cows graze all day, then kill the cow. But this is a folly, and if you live by this rule, you will be totally stripped of vitality and higher ascension abilities. And if you think you have higher ascension abilities now, just wait until you're vegan. Wait until your body is not a walking cemetery. Watch the magic that a lighter body can perform when it is not burdened by carrying the rotting flesh, the karma, the fear, the adrenaline, the cruelty, and the ignorance of heavy, slow, dense matter you call a fillet or a steak. If we are billions of trillions of atoms, each vibrating at the speed of light and thought, at their own volition, then what we consume must match that vibration, or else dis-ease sets in. Dis-ease occurs when your body is being slowed down in relation to the flow of life. Disease manifests when a substance or thought form enters the body, or is sustained by the mind, of a lesser vibration, a slower frequency. When you consume dead food, like wilted old spinach, slimy oranges, brown grapes, or meat, dairy, and eggs, the vibration of those atoms are slower and more dense than that of a living, colorful, flavorful, raw fruits and vegetables. It is like the relay race runner, where the food is the baton, and while your body is the next runner in line. If the baton is running at a slower pace, the front runner has to then slow himself down to grab hold of the baton and use it. But when the runner slows down, he lags, he lacks, he becomes slower, more dense, and expends more energy trying to catch up with the race or the flow of life or of harmony. Okay, everybody hold your hand out over a light source. Okay, make sure you're blocking it out so it looks like shadow to you. Okay, now move it up and down. Move it out of the light and into the light. Out of the light, into the light. Now do it faster and faster. You can do it so fast where the light doesn't break and it keeps coming through, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all look like fools. Okay. Now,
Look like Mr.
the faster you're vibrating, the more light comes in.
What about eating ether?
That is for other talks.
For other
Hence, that one gets deeper. Hence the term light body. The subtle body is now allowing more energy and light to shine through, accessing even ever higher light codes of consciousness. So now that I'm getting out of the physical realms of thing, I'll wrap it up, offering this offering of truth and of health. It has to come to an end because it's getting a little too metaphysical. But I would like to wrap up by saying this. If you're going to eat to live. Eat foods that have some sort of quality of life, not death. If you choose to eat, which right now we don't have much choice in, but if you choose to do so, eat the things that are earth-made and electrical. Plants, green vegetation, berries, fruits, nuts, etc. Eating is the #1 internal form of communicating with the Earth Mother. She drops her fruits whether we are there or not. In fact, she produces more fruits when she knows that her seeds are going to be spread. You can read her waves, her clouds, her forest fire, smoke, and you can also eat berries or fruits to directly communicate to the earth. By removing Earth's creatures from your intestines, you will be able to hear a different song. More words from the beyond will be understood by you. Your health will improve. Animals will show you more affection. You will see your voluntary connection, not the true connection, but your voluntary connection, your involved connection, your intended, your realized connection to your soul be heightened in ways undescribable and unprescribable. Now, if there's anything that you should take away from this, is that I recommend seaweed, like kelp, bladderwrack, sea moss. Seaweeds on average contain more than 90 trace minerals that compose the human body. Remember, the human body has 102. Anything green. Your smoke's broke. Anything green. Yeah. Anything green, in fact, guys, because green is the color of love, but we'll get into that as it goes. Dandelion green. Is that seaweed, my friend? Okay.
Seaweed as in like...
Pass that seaweed around.
Yeah, I want some seaweed.
Pass that seaweed around, because we all need some.
Do you mean seaweed as in the nori?
Hey, but it's a good counterbalance. Seaweed is a great irradiator. Seaweed is a great reverse radiator.
Because of iodine.
There's the iodine in it, exactly.
Any kind of seaweed, right? Because there's the thick one.
Any kind of seaweed.
Any kind. Okay.
Try to keep it off of the Pacific. Okay, now I'll get back into this just to wrap up. Anything green, like dandelion greens, which are 8 to 12 times more nutrient dense than spinach. Okay, eat as many berries as possible. Eat foods that you can find in a forest, jungle, or natural existing setting before our involvement with them. Avoid white rice, white potatoes, garlic, white onions, white sugar, white flour, and white navy beans. If you're going to eat color. Eat rainbows.
Rainbows.
Okay?
That's kind
Brown.
of like my chakra theory.
Brown. Okay. Brown, black, or wild rice. Red, pink, or blue potatoes. Sweet potatoes. Coconut sugar. Stay away from agave. Brown, black, or wild rice. Red, pink, blue potatoes. Sweet potatoes. Coconut sugar. Stay away from agave, I would say. Use maple syrup instead. Red or black quinoa or tough flours. Brown rice flour, kidney beans, black turtle beans, red and black quinoa, etc. Stop eating or reduce consumption of chicken periods, you guys call it eggs, cow lactation, pus and rotten moldy lactation you call milk, yogurt, and cheese, and all the dead animals for that matter.
What about like if yogurt has life cultures? Isn't that
Well, there's coconut yogurt. There's things that don't involve animals' involvement and is not acidic when it breaks down in you.
Cool.
Okay, now I have some health products here. What you want to actually check out is Dr. Sebi for sure on YouTube and Juice Plus for sure. It's changing lives and reversing a lot. I got a lot of Ormus teas and I got a lot of detoxes here, charcoal detoxes. I got blue-green algae from Klamath Lake. Really great things to get the blue-green algae in you.
Did you say Ormus?
Ormus, got all that stuff. Okay. So in conclusion,
You
stay
sure?
alkalized, stay grounded, stay positive, stay strong. Nobody is perfect, especially not me. I have my own battles, and this is why I truly love that we are doing this, so that we can get over the obstacles we were meant to, and that we may be fruitful in the next life and continue to ascend onward and upward on the path of light that leads back to the all. I go in peace, and thank you very much for listening.